And for the record, I'm not fat, I'm fluffy. For those of you who still don't know, there are 5 levels of fatness. Fluffy is one of the levels. There's big, healthy, husky, fluffy, and damn! I'm still number 4. People go, how do you know when you're number 5? Well, because people will tell you, you know? If you try to get on an elevator that's crowded and people stop you and go, damn! If you go to Disneyland and little kids want to ride you,
I want to get on that one. Damn.
yeah, I'm sorry, little kids are too honest, man. They're like little alcoholics. You know, and as far as, Disneyland, I love Disneyland, but they're not fluffy friendly. They're not, man. They care about safety, And that sucks, because I can handle 1 bar. 1 bar, I'm cool. But now they got the whole, If you're fluffy, one of those is not going to lock. You're trying. People are in line. You can do it! One time I took a trip with my buddy Mondo, right? Big guy, another big guy. And I went with him because his family, they decided to go, and he didn't want to be the only one hanging out by the strollers. So we're hanging out, and at the end of the day, my buddy Mondo goes, dude, we should get on a ride. I go, which one? We can't get on none of them, dude. We're too big. He goes, there's a ride here at Disneyland. It's called Splash Mountain. I go, what is that? He goes, it's a log, and you get inside the log, and it goes uphill, goes down, makes a splash. No seatbelt, no pull bar. You just get in and go. I go, no seatbelt? No pull bar? So we get in line for it, right? We're all pumped up, and I see people getting off the ride with these little note cards. I go, what are those? He goes, oh, they take a photo of you when you go downhill. Oh, okay, cool. So we get to the front of the line, and then we have to deal with the lady with the headset. The lady who takes her job way too serious.
Okay, how many people? 4? Okay, 2 here, 2 here. How many? 5? Okay, 3 there, 2 there.
And we get to the front.
How many people?
Who cares? We get our own boat, right? We take off. We're splishing and splashing like little kids. 3 minutes go by, the moment of truth. We get to the hill, right? My buddy Mondo turns around and he says, dude, let's flash the camera. I said, you're stupid. I'm down. So as soon as it let us go, right? We get off the ride, we are soaking wet. We're all rosado right here. We got a mean old baby rash. We go to buy the picture, and there's a lady behind the counter with her hand on the screen. And I asked my buddy Mondo, I said, bro, what boat are we? He says, 22. I go, she's covering 22. He goes, oh, we better sneak out of here. Oh, yeah, we're gonna sneak out. We get past the picture girl, but then we get stopped by Disney security. And you have not lived until you've been stopped by a freaking man wearing a badge in the shape of a mouse. This guy was like, hold on a second. Ma'am, move your hand away from the screen. You guys see what I see here? That's a disgrace to this park. We can't believe anyone could take such a photo. My question to you guys, do you recognize the 2 big women in this picture? And it wasn't until we walked over to this photo that my buddy Armando and I realized something about ourselves. And that is that when 2 full-grown, fluffy men are going downhill at a 45-degree angle with no shirts on going like this, we both look like sexy bitches.
getting back into the swing of things, we have definitely come a long way from 2020. The fact that we're in a sold-out stadium, elbow to elbow, ready to laugh, have fun. We've come a long way. You know? 2020, you guys, I gotta just thank my dogs. I gotta thank my dogs, because my dogs kept me sane, they kept me happy, they kept me focused. Because I was so depressed, I was sad, I didn't know what to make of things. Do we have any dog owners? Yeah? See, dog owners, you know what's up. No other animal in the world will give you 100% like a dog. What, cat? No. I'm sorry. No disrespect to cats or cat owners. But cat owners, you know as well as I do. Your cats, because I know you got more than one. Your cats look at you like you live in their house. You walk in, you try to scold them for something. And then when you try to talk to them, they turn their back on you and show you their butthole. You're staring, you're like, oh my God, it's so dark. Only a dog will give you 100% of itself. That's why they get so sad when they know you're about to leave, and why they get so happy when you come home. You are literally everything they've been looking forward to. And now you're back! I know for a fact, nothing on this planet loves me more than my dogs. I said this last night and someone said, what about your son? I said, nothing loves me more. I could leave my dressing room for 1 minute or 1 hour. When I come back, the reaction is the same. It is the greatest moment ever, every single time. Oh yeah. My dog Vinny will jump off the couch and run towards me top speed. And then when he gets to me, he jumps up and down. And he makes a sound, like a... You can almost hear, where were you? Where were you? Where were you? And he pees everywhere. I used to get upset that he would do that, but then I thought about it. My dog loves me so much, he cannot control his own bodily functions. That's why when I would go home, I would immediately pick him up before anything. And then my girlfriend would get mad. How come you don't come to me first? I said, because the dog loves me more. How do you know I don't love you more? I said, I don't see a puddle. Nita, dry. Yeah, she didn't like that, sorry. But yeah, these dogs, man, let me tell you. And I apologize if I'm kind of stuttering or I'm not as focused right now. I have never been distracted by a blimp with my face on it. I'm sorry, Netflix, but shit, this... This is like a birthday and Christmas and the Super Bowl and the World Series and losing my virginity all at the same time. Even saw the lights of the Goodyear blimp. I will tell you, though, that I did not handle the breakup well. She was, in fact, the first breakup, like real. She was my first true love. I'll just say it. She was my first true love. And I did not handle it well. You're supposed to have your heart broken when you're like 12. When you have your first crush. That's when you're supposed to have your first heartache, not in your 40s. It's supposed to be when you're young, when you're little, when you're resilient, you know? You're like, you realize it's not gonna work out, so you're devastated. No! Yeah. Not when you're in your 40s. So without divulging too much information, let me just tell you that when everything was finalized, I was at the gas station and I got a text message basically saying, everything's been signed, it's official, it's turned in. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. I get in the car, I start the car, and then I put it in drive. And that's when it hit. That's when it became real. That's when it was like, oh my God, I can no longer go home. That's no longer an option. I have messed things up. I can no longer go back to what I called home. I have to restart my life right then and there at the gas station. And I had a full-blown meltdown. And some of you know that my tour came to an end a while back, and people were wondering, is it drugs? Is it alcohol? Is it mental health? I was going through my first breakup. How was I supposed to be an effective comedian when I couldn't stop crying? You know what I mean? It was like, it was bad. And you guys have heard the shows before. You know I never bring this up. It was the lowest point of my life. I had never felt so sad, weak, vulnerable, depressed, lonely, everything all rolled into one. And it was at the lowest point of my life that I found that's right, country music. Country music knows when you're sad. Country music knows when you're weak. Country music knows when you're vulnerable and you need something to fill the void. I used to fight off country music. I used to look at country music in the face and tell country, you could take your ache, you break your heart, you keep on moving. But not today. Let me tell you what's going on. I'm in the car and I'm crying so much. My tears are rolling down my cheek and they're blending with my snot. They're blending with my mocos. My tears are blending with my mocos and then blending with my babas, with my drool. I have 3 different fluids coming out of my face at the same time. My neck looked like menudo. It was bad. All I needed was a pinche limón y cebolla. That's it right there. I am making ugly sounds and I don't want to hear myself, so I turn on the stereo and I started hitting buttons and it lands on the country station. And I knew immediately that it was country music I was listening to, and I did not try to change the station because I figured, you know what? I deserve to suffer more for the mistakes I made and the people I hurt. So I let it play and play and play and play. I listened to country music for over an hour, and I came to this conclusion. Country music has at least one song that will speak to your heart directly because you feel like the artist wrote the song specifically about you and your life because of how detailed the songs are. Oh yeah, my hat's off to country music singers and artists. You guys, you know how to do something very well, and it's not till you experience a certain time of your life that it makes sense. I'm in that car bawling, and all of a sudden on the radio I hear this. It's been 7 days since you seen her. How does he know it's been 7 days since I've seen her? You just can't get her off your mind. 'Cause every little thing that you do or say is another reason you pushed her away. And now you're sitting in your car all alone. Stop! And it doesn't stop. It keeps kicking you on the ground, reminding you what a piece of crap you are. You should have gone home and locked the door, but you was outside being a whore. And now you're sitting in your car, all alone. I have a bus driver named Dave who has never received any credit. And he's been working for me for almost 10 years now. This man has successfully gotten me to every single comedy show on time without fail. If I had to describe him to you, okay? Dave looks like the word America. Not America, America. He's about 6 feet tall, he's white, he has a gray beard, and he wears a trucker hat. And he's gotta be one of the most hardworking people I have ever met. Now, when I say hardworking, hey, I'm on the road 46 weeks out of the year, so I know. Difference is, I fly home every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Dave stays on that bus and he gets it to the next city where we meet him. He works anniversaries, holidays, special moments. Christmas time, I was with my family. Dave was driving that bus on the East Coast. New Year's, I was with my family. Dave was on the East Coast driving that bus. One of the hardest working people I've ever met. I just want to give him a shout out. In addition to being hardworking, he's very honest. Now, when I say honest, I don't mean, oh, he does his taxes right. I mean painfully honest, no filter honest. He talks the way people used to. He does not have time to mince words. He just calls it like he sees it. Before me, he used to work with a man by the name of Kenny G. Grammy Award winner, amazing, amazing music. One day, Kenny G was on his tour bus that Dave was driving, and I guess the two of them had a little discussion, and Kenny G used some words that Dave would have rather him not have used, and instead of getting into it with him, this is what Dave does. Kicked Kenny G off of his own bus. Because he would rather lose his job than lose his self-respect. And that's the man I work with. He's a bad dude. You guys are clapping, but you should have seen the interview. Oh man, it was a good one. He looks at me and he says, hey, let's get one thing straight. I don't give a who you are. You treat me right, I'll treat you right. You pay me on time, you'll live. Not to mention the fact that he keeps that tour bus squeaky clean. And he takes a lot of pride in that as well. One night, I was drinking on the bus, and I go to put my cup down, and I missed the table, and the cup hit the floor. I didn't get up right away to get the cup, because I figured I'm gonna get up in a couple minutes and make myself another drink. I'll pick up the cup then. Dave sees the cup on the floor, and then he looks at me and says, hey, I ain't sure, mama. Pick that shit up. I get to the back of the bus and I'm like, wait a minute, I pay him. Hey, Dave, shut up. Yeah, I'll be in the back in my room. Thank you. Drive safe. And people tell me, you work with a man who talks that way to you? Why? Let me tell you why. Because he's honest. With Dave, you know exactly what you get. Nowadays, it is so hard for me to tell who's being genuine and who has an agenda. And with him, you know exactly where you stand. If he likes you, he loves you. And if not, you're on the curb with Kenny G. That being said, I have a story to share. About 1.5 years ago, maybe longer, we're on the bus and we're heading down the highway. Just so you have kind of an understanding of the bus layout, let's say this is the front. Here's Dave, the driver, empty seat, and then a sliding door that goes in between him and the rest of the tour bus. My buddy Alfred and I are in the living room portion and we're watching TV. We're watching the news. And on the news, there's this person who is running for some type of office. No particular office. And I guess their big plan is to erect a structure between two bodies of land. Somewhere. And I guess they want one side of the structure to finance the entire project. Well, my buddy Alfred and I, we have a lot of family that works in construction, and we know a bad job when we see one. So we started to voice our opinion out loud about how we felt about this person and what they wanted to do. We're being very loud. So loud, Dave can hear us. And then we hear Dave. America. I yell out to Dave. I said, be quiet, Dave. This isn't about you. he taps a button on the dashboard that activates the sliding door. And when the door's about that far from closing, he yells out, "I'm building a wall!" I couldn't even get upset because I was too much in shock over the fact that that came out of someone 4 feet away from me. My buddy Alfred and I, we look like chickens. We're like... My cell phone goes off. I take out my phone, and there's a text message from Dave. And I said, that's right, he better say I'm sorry. He better say just kidding. I open up the text message and it says, "And you're paying for it." And people tell me, you still work with him after that? Yes, I do. I trust that man with my life every single night. I know where his heart's at. He can say whatever he wants. At the end of the day, he still has to drive around the king of the Mexicans. Anyways, back to my son's friends. So my son has these 2 friends that come over the house all the time. One friend, his name is Ken, works a lot with computers. The other friend, his name is Fabian. He wants to be a police officer. Both of these kids are really, really good. Now, I keep calling everyone kids, even though they're all 18. But to me, they're kids. I'm almost 40. I'm like, Like some of the conversations that we have are very adult-like. And the other conversations, I'm like, what am I doing with my life? For example, at home when I'm hanging out, I usually just wear, very similar to now, except the Hawaiian shirt. I usually wear like a t-shirt that has like either Star Wars or Marvel Comics or Transformers on it or cartoons. I like wearing stuff like that around the house. One day, I'm wearing a t-shirt that has the Avengers on the front. And I walk into the living room, and my son's friend Fabian sees me wearing this shirt. And so he starts pointing. And I'm like, "What's up, dude?" He goes, "Weak." Excuse me? Weak. And then he says, "DC's better." What did you say? DC's better. I'm like, DC's okay. Obama lives there. They pass laws. They got hotels, historic museums. It's not even a real state. I don't know why you're getting cray-cray. He goes, "Nah, fool, DC Comics." And I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm almost 40. I don't care. It's just a really cool shirt. I like it. It fits. No big deal." "That's because they are." I go, "You need to relax. They're the best." I go, "You need to chill." And in my head, I'm like, why am I having this conversation? I have better things to do with my time, like trying to get my son on an elephant. But no. The kid in me's like, "Why are they the best?" And then he points at the shirt again. "Iron Man sucks. Batman's #1. I go, "Why?" "Because he is." I go, "That's not an argument. First of all, Batman's not the best superhero. I hate to break it to you. He's not." I can hear people already getting ready to boo. They're like, "Oh, no, Fluffy, don't go there. Don't go there, Fluffy. Don't do it." Yes, I'm gonna do this. Watch this. Batman's not the best superhero. Batman is the creepiest superhero. Batman is the creepiest superhero that has ever lived. He even sounds creepy. "I'm Batman. I'm Batman." You don't recognize that voice? "Want some candy? Help me find my puppy." Hello, he only comes out at night. His face is always covered up. He's always waiting in alleys. And who does he talk to? A guy named Joker, a guy named Riddler. His name is Batman. Joker, Riddler, Batman. Joker, Riddler, Batman. Those are Mexican gang member names. Can you imagine if that was Batman's real identity at night? "I'm Batman." During the day? "No, chingue su madre, soy Batman, loco. Todo el pinche día aquí trabajando y luego le parto la madre Joker." "I'm Batman." I said, "All right, Fabian, Mr. Batman's the best. Based on my t-shirt says Marvel Comics. I said, I see Thor, I see Captain America, I see Iron Man. Who are some of the superheroes that DC Comics has that makes them better than Marvel? Go." "Batman." "You said that." "Superman." "That's a good one." "Wonder Woman." "Okay." "Green Lantern." Whoa. I said, "I know the other superheroes, but Green Lantern? What's his power?" "He wears a ring, and the ring gives him power." I said, that's a fantasy. I don't know any man who wears a ring who has power. And if you're not clapping right now, my point exactly. You can't clap, can you? You can't. You know why you can't clap? Because you're sitting next to kryptonite. He's not even clapping. He's like, no, 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 no. No, no, me pega Wonder Woman. No, no. Listen, you guys, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I feel just a pinch like a superhero in the sense that I'm able to walk out in front of large groups of people, change people's moods, make people smile, make people laugh, make people feel a little bit better. By that same token, like any superhero, I have my weaknesses too. You know, I come out here and I make you happy, and then I go home and I piss off one person. Because she don't want to hear about this. She doesn't want to hear about you guys. I can't go home and brag. Baby, it was crazy in Chicago. That's nice. Take out the trash. But they were clapping and chanting my name.
Oh, is that gonna help? Okay. Take out the trash. Take out the trash. Take out the trash. Take out the trash.
But they told me they love me. Oh my God. Do you guys have any idea how hard it's gonna be to go home and take out the trash now? Thank you. Oh my God, this is awesome. I hear some of you too. You guys okay over here? That's a big compliment, by the way. Anytime I hear people in the arena and they're freaking, that lets me know I'm making you laugh so much. Your own body is rejecting the activity that you're participating in. Your own lungs are telling you, this is not good for you. You need to leave, but you're stubborn. You're like, no, the ticket was expensive. That's usually from guys. From women, it's a little bit different. Anytime I hear women laughing so much that they begin to snort. You're already laughing. That tells me I'm making you laugh so much, I'm causing you to inhale and exhale at the same time, forcing you to make that. And if I hear a woman snort more than 2 times, that tells me I made you pee just a little. I love that, bro. You were pointing out the whole time, and she's like, you asshole. Thanks for having my back. Another thing that I now consider a compliment is that from time to time, I have people who are experiencing their first ever comedy event, and they're not accustomed to laughing for long periods of time. And they get so excited and so involved with the show that they forget. They forget to do a very basic thing called breathing. You'd be amazed how many times I've seen this in the front row. Just and they pass the hell out. The messed up part is only I can see what's happening. And they're usually like, you know,
Fluffy, do something.
I'm like,
Do something.